Welcome to Day 7 of the MDPN 100, which is 100 days worth of storytelling prompts to help you market your product in subtle, honest, and engaging ways. As always, I want to start by saying that you should not use AI to write your story. I say this because when you give AI your full backstory and what you learned from it, it can then learn it and feed it to any and everyone on the internet. We're entering a time where the only thing that'll set you apart from your competitors and AI is your story and expertise, the stories you have and the lessons you've learned that AI can't replace or replicate yet, and hopefully never. So I think it's really important for you to protect them. Now let's jump into the lesson. Today's theme prompt and story prompts can be found in the description below. In Day 7's story, you'll talk about the bold move or pivot that led you to create the product you're selling now. For most people, it might be quitting a job, or facing an illness, or going through a breakup, or getting an ultimatum that can't be ignored. It's when you got rid of your backup plans and went all in on one idea, also known as burning the boats. If you're not familiar with it, burning the boats is a metaphor that is most commonly associated with the story of Hernán Cortés. Yes, that bloke we learned about in 7th grade history class. The phrase references when military leaders used to burn their boats after landing on enemy land to boost the morale and determination of their troops. It basically means eliminating any option but Plan A and committing all of your efforts to making Plan A work. It's usually a burn the boats moment that turns a business into a success. When that survival instinct kicks in because it's literally do or die, so you have no choice but to figure out how to do. Our burn the boats moments force us to stop procrastinating on building the product, stop delaying the launch, start marketing so people know about the product, and do whatever needs to be done to move from a toxic situation to a healthier one. Sharing your burn the boats story gets your audience invested in the why behind your product. It makes them stop thinking only about what you can do for them, although that's obviously still the most important factor, and start emotionally investing in you. Like I said in the previous lessons, brand loyalty comes from emotional investment, not financial investment. If you go to the store and they're out of your favorite toothpaste, you don't stop brushing your teeth until they're back in stock, right? God, I hope not. No, you'll probably just buy another brand that's in stock and circle back to your fave next time, if you feel like it. On the other hand, if you're someone who's passionate about giving to those in need, especially children, you might exclusively shop from a company like Tom's Shoes because their original commitment to giving away one pair of shoes for every shoe purchased aligns with your passion. Please note, this is not a sponsored video. I'm only vaguely aware of the changes that have been made to the Tom's Shoes mission over the years, so please do your research before supporting if you're passionate about the one-for-one promise. My point is, any story that gets people emotionally invested in your brand increases their loyalty to your brand. I'll give you 3 important tips on how to do this at the end of this video. My burn the boats story is when I was slowly starting to recover from the illnesses that rendered me unable to work for almost a year, and I finally started working again, this time as a chauffeur and DoorDasher for 15 to 16 hours a day. Yeah. I apparently didn't learn about the importance of rest from the first time I got sick. I guess that's why it took me so long to heal. I liked driving because I was working on building another business at the time, and it gave me the freedom to create my own schedule, and I could listen to business courses, lectures, and podcasts when no one else was in the car. It worked for me for a few years, until it didn't. I did over 1,800 dashes. Seriously, no cap. And on a particularly humid 101-degree day with no breeze, I decided that sitting in that heat in traffic, driving through torrential rainstorms, spending 10 to 15 minutes looking for parking 6 to 8 times a day, doing drop-offs in sketchy neighborhoods with no streetlights, if you live in the South, you know the deal, and getting paid $3 to $12 for a dash that took me over an hour to complete, wasn't a good use of my time, energy, skills, or car. I was done. Finito. No more. I was in survival and recovery mode, sure, and was super grateful for the option to dash. But I was clear that this was no longer a way I wanted to live. Side note, please tip your dashers when you can. No shame or judgment if you can't, but if you can, please do. Because yes, I really got paid $3 for an order that took over an hour. No one can live on that. It was that hot and sweaty 101-degree day that inspired me to create the first iteration of MDPN for creators. While it was a long journey from there to the growing library of over 700 content and digital product ideas across 10 categories, each with a blueprint on how to make, market, and monetize them, that was the moment I committed to making it a success. That was when I devoted myself to making money by helping other people make money by creating products and content that genuinely helps and provides value to their audience. The road hasn't been easy or pretty all the time, and there was even a hot minute when I tried to go back to dashing. It was short-lived because it was no longer aligned with me. But it's what I'm most passionate about and what I'm good at. Dorian Dasherus hasn't seen me since. So here are 3 things you need to remember to do this successfully. 1. Be open, honest, and transparent. Embrace the ugly parts of your story. It's not glamorous for me to tell you that I worked as a dasher and made $3 an hour. That's the exact opposite of what most people who flex their luxury cars and mansions in Dubai share on the internet. I'm not overly proud of it. But it's real. It's part of my story. As I always say, don't hide what makes you human. That's what your audience will remember and hold on to. And when they have to choose between you and a competitor with a similar product at a similar price, they're going to choose the brand they feel emotionally connected to, the one that can relate to the most. Make sure that's you. 2. Paint a picture that's easy to visualize. You know what it's like to sit in traffic on a hot and humid day. You know what it's like to search for parking for 10 to 15 minutes once, let alone multiple times in one day. You know what it's like to get fed up putting miles on your car for no good reason. So it was easy for you to relate to my story, right? That's what you need to do with your audience. You don't have to get as specific as I did, but you do need to include some details that will make your audience say, "Oh yeah, I've been there, I would have done the same thing." That part is key. I would have done the same thing. That's another level of connection and understanding that will make buying your product feel like the obvious next step for them. 3. Remember that the story doesn't have to be overtly life-changing. While the circumstances amplify the drama, my story isn't all that special. I went out to dash one day, and by the time I logged out, I decided that I never wanted to do it again, and therefore I had to come up with another solution. It was pretty simple. It actually could have been a great story for day 6 too, because I didn't realize how much that moment would change the trajectory of my life until later. But I put it for day 7 because it was a big move for me. I always kept dashing as an option in my back pocket. I didn't mention that because I worked so many hours, I hit platinum status, which gave me first pick for the higher paying orders, although I still got $3 deliveries sometimes. Choosing not to dash meant that my monthly order count would drop and I would lose that platinum status, which meant I would only get $3 orders if I didn't get my numbers up within 30 days. It may not have been an earth-shattering story, but it was a risk that had consequences if I failed. Stopping was a big decision for me. You probably have a story like this too, and I encourage you to share it. Don't downplay it because you think it's not good enough. You don't have to write an episode of Grey's Anatomy. You just need to tell a story that people can see themselves in and then connect it back to your product. All of the Day 7 prompts can be found below. If you want to check out the MDPN 4 Creators Library, the link is also in the description below. And if you don't want to create anything new but still want to make more money, consider becoming one of our affiliates. We offer high commission rates and we add more ideas to it every month so it'll never grow stale. I'll see you in the next lesson.